As you just saw, the post-game celebration was unbelievable. It was just a great post-game celebration, a lot of fun at Center Grove Friday evening. It was a memorable night for many East football players, and man, what a huge win. I mean, there isn't even words to describe how great that win was. But I'm going to try here as I give out my post-game report card. Let's go ahead and run through Luke Martin's 3 keys to victory that I set last week for the O's to come out with a win against Center Grove. My first key was control the tempo of the game. The Olympians get an A+. You talk about setting the tempo, jumping out to a 14-0 lead. They get the ball first. They drive down the field and score. They kick the onside kick, and they recover it. And then they go right down the field again and score. The Olympians did a phenomenal job at setting the tempo. Not only did the offense do it by running the football, playing a physical game, they did it defensively. I knew the defense would step up, have a big night. I don't know about that big. The defense did phenomenal. The O's set the tempo from the very beginning of the game, and that's why they ended up really dominating the game. Center Grove only got within 1 point there in the third quarter, making it 14-13 after they missed the extra point. But the O's really dominated and took the fight to Center Grove. I don't think the Trojans took the Olympians I think they overlooked Columbus East. I mean, I'm not saying, it's not a huge win for Columbus East. I'm just saying I think Center Grove thought the Olympians were a joke. But the Olympians came out, they had a chip on their shoulder, and they showed Center Grove. They set the tempo. They punched Center Grove in the mouth. Center Grove was able to punch them right back. But the Olympians, being the championship program, the championship team they are, were able to win the heavyweight fight, and they were able to punch the Center Grove Trojans back and knock them out and ended up winning the game 27-13. So they get an A+ in controlling the tempo of the game. Just a phenomenal job by the Olympians. My second key I set for the O's was be fundamentally sound, be disciplined. I give them an A- because there were a couple, mishandled snaps. There were a couple fumbles. They never lost them. So the Olympians did not have any turnovers, which was a huge key because Center Grove's not a team that turns the football over a lot. They're fundamentally sound, so they're a very disciplined football team. They're very well coached. But the Olympians did a very good job. That's why they still get an A, but it's an A- because there were a couple and holding calls. There are a lot of penalties. Now, I'm not saying, the Olympians, there were some that are just like, are you serious? You just scratch your head and you think, oh, okay, whatever. That's just part of the game going on the road. But they dealt with it very well. So the Olympians get an A- there in being fundamentally sound and being a disciplined football team. My third and final key I set for the O's to come out with a win against Center Grove. It was the Columbus East offense versus the Center Grove defense. I knew, as many people did know, or they should have known, the Columbus East defense was improved, and I knew they would just be good enough if the offense was able to put up points. The offense put up 21 points, 14 in the first quarter. They had 165 yards of passing offense, 142 yards rushing. They had Gunnar Keel was phenomenal, 18-27, 1 touchdown. Andrew Wilson, 16 carries for 100 yards, about 6-7 yards per carry. They did a great job, folks. I mean, the offense was balanced. That was the key, was being a balanced team. That's something Columbus East has not really been. They've always been throw the ball. And we've had great running backs here. Damon was a really good running back. Jameel McLaurin was a really good running back. Stevie, when he was back there, was good. But Andrew Wilson and this offensive line has done a phenomenal job. They're a physical football team. This is a physical football team, and they proved it, and they're a balanced offense. Idiots up in Indianapolis can write in the Indy Star or whichever paper they want and talk about how East only throws the ball. They only think that because they go from past history and they never watch this team play. This team has been balanced really throughout the whole year. Andrew Wilson's done a phenomenal job running the football, and it was great to see him, the offensive line, and this offense show how good they are and how balanced they are and how physical they are. They shut a lot of people up. But you know what? If they come out and lose the night against Whiteland, that win means nothing. All those haters will continue to call it a fluke. But I got to tell you something. This team is physical, and this team's got a point to prove, and they still have that chip on their shoulder. There's no question about that. So my player of the game award, they get an A+. They get an A+. I almost got away there with that saying my grade. So my player of the game award, I'm telling you, folks, there is no one else deserving but this whole team. I cannot give this award out to any specific player. Kayla Maley, 16 total tackles. Weston Cordier, 9 total tackles. Tyler Shadwick, 9 total tackles. Max Fisher, 7 total tackles and a sack. Eli Shetmer, fumble recovery, 5 tackles, a tackle for loss. Cole Cammon, what a story. 65-yard interception, ran back for a touchdown. David Johnson played well. Evan Staley played well. The whole defense played well. In the offense, I already said their numbers. They played well. What a story by Cole Cammon. I mean, what a story. You know, this young man, I do a pretty good job at holding my emotions in check for the most part. But I got to tell you, when Cole picked the ball off, you know, tears really came down my eyes because he is such a great young kid, a great friend of mine. And after all he's been through, after it looked like he may never walk again, he may not live again, almost had his leg amputated, didn't know if they could save his leg. And seeing him run the ball, pick off the ball, and run it for a touchdown in one of the biggest games of his career, my goodness, it just does not get any better than that. And Cole proved all the doctors and all the people that doubted him wrong. So did this Columbus East football team in coming out with a win against the Center Grove Trojans. That does it for my Center Grove recap. We'll be back right after this break as I interview senior Evan Staley.